Yo, people, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Elite Talks Football. And I hope you guys are doing all right today. And yeah, obviously, the reason why I wanted to record this video yesterday, which is on a Friday. But the reason why I'm doing this today is because yesterday I was so busy. Like, I had to finish work late because, it's the final school day, before the Easter holiday and all that stuff. And then the second thing reason is that I had a new haircut, as you can see. So let me know in the comments what you make of that. Do you think it's good, or do you think that it could be a bit better? But do let me know what type of, if you like this hairstyle. And number three, we I just had to sort everything inside the house because someone because one of my because someone is coming to this house. I'm not gonna tell you who, but yeah, someone is coming to this house. So that's why me and my brother had to sweep everywhere so that it could be nice and clean. So that's why I had to delay this predictions for today. So it is gonna be a quick video. So what I'm gonna do very quickly is I'm not gonna read out the stats and all that stuff. I'm just gonna give you guys um the reaction to last week's games, and I'm gonna give you guys my prediction, and that's basically gonna be it because there's two videos I'm gonna be doing. This video, of course, is the predictions. Then the next video is the Brentford versus Chelsea match preview because that game kicks off tomorrow at 2 p.m. So this is video one of two. So make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. Hit the bell notification as well. Excuse me, and don't forget to hit the share button so that everyone can see this video as well. So without wasting any more time, let's quickly run through these predictions so that I can also prepare myself for the next video, which is Brentford versus Chelsea preview. So let's go. So hold on, let me just remove this logo for a moment so that you guys could um see the names. Where is it? Remove. There we go. All right. So the first game, of course, is Everton versus Arsenal. That game is at 12:30 p.m. kickoff. So in a couple of minutes, while you're watching this video, the game is about to kick off. So yeah. So yeah, obviously, Everton suffered their first defeat. On the sorry, not their first defeat, their second defeat on David Moyes because his first defeat was against Aston Villa 1-0, and then funnily enough, he lost 1-0 against Liverpool in the Merseyside derby, but Everton in that game were lucky to lose because a draw could have been or possibly a win because I remember Beto had chances to score, and I forgot who else had chances, but it's more likely Beto, they had more chances. What I will say is that Tchaikovsky was very lucky to be on the pitch, because to me that was a red card. I don't know how the VR did not look at it and tell the referee not to look at it as well. For me, that's a red card because it was a bad challenge. I believe it was on Darwin Nunes or Curtis Jones. I cannot remember, but it's a bad challenge. That's one thing I will say. But other than that, Everton, did really well. And Arsenal are going to Goodison Park, which is the final game at Goodison Park, because all we know that next season Everton will be playing in a new stadium, which is a capacity of about 52,888 fans. So this is Arsenal's last trip to Goodison Park, and they'll be hoping to go to end their final game with possibly a win. Because I still don't think Arsenal going to win this league, but it's going to be tough for them. It really is going to be tough. But to me, yeah, even though I feel like Everton might do something, I just feel like Arsenal right now this season will be really good. Also, Mika Moreno is starting to score goals. And also, don't forget, Saka is also back, which is the good news. But the bad news is that Gabriel Magalhaes will be out for the remainder of the season because of the hamstring injury. So he will not feature in the Real Madrid game or any other Champions League games if Arsenal beat Real Madrid, if you know what I mean. So there we go. And also Timber, we all know that he was okay for the Fulham game, but the question is, do you risk Timber starting because you definitely don't want to lose another defender when you know that Gabriel is out, and also I said this to Dab, speak up to him on Never Fail. I said to him that I wouldn't risk starting Saka at Goodison Park because we all know that Everton love to play a low block and just hit them and hit targets on the counter attack. So to me, give Saka a rest because to me, Arsenal should be focusing on Real Madrid, because they're facing one of the biggest and best clubs in the world, Real Madrid. So to me, rest Saka for this game and give him a couple of minutes to come in and maybe try and do something. And then if Saka's fully fit, then start him in the Real Madrid game. That's what I would do, if I was Mikel Arteta. But we'll see what happens later today. But for this game, Everton versus Arsenal, I, my first one is that this game might end in a draw, but I just feel like Arsenal will nick it for me. They will definitely nick it. So for me, for this game today, I'm gonna go for 2-1 Arsenal. The goal scorers, of course, I'm gonna go for Mika Moreno and Saka to score. For Everton, I'm gonna go for Better to score. So you know, um, let's not forget last season Arsenal managed to get there and won just about 1-0, and that was under Sean Dice, and also Mikel Arteta, funnily enough, was the player under David Moyes when he was an Everton manager. So these two will be meeting each other, um, you know, and in a long time. Obviously, they met each other, when Arsenal faced West Ham, but this time David Moyes is the Everton manager, so I'm not sure what both of them are going to do, but I know it's going to be emotional for both of them. But I just feel like Mikel Arteta will get the better of David Moyes. So yeah, 2-1 to Arsenal is going to be my prediction for that game later today. So I will be watching it, after I upload this video. So there we go. Why the next one, of course, is Crystal Palace versus Brighton, or as we like to call it, the M23 derby, because that's how you get from South London all the way down to Brighton. You just use the M23 derby, and it doesn't take that long, to get there. So there we go. But yeah, Crystal Palace, weirdly enough, drawn against Southampton after I thought that they're going to win 3-0, but that didn't happen. But of course, Brighton didn't lose 3-0 against Nottingham, against Aston Villa, sorry. So, but they're still in a chance of finishing the Champions League. So for this game, I will be watching that one because I'm a Chelsea fan. I want to hope and listen. Funnily enough, yeah, sometimes these games end in a 1-1 draw. Of course, Brighton did went away to Selhurst Park and faced Crystal Palace and beat them at the Amex Stadium, but it's at Selhurst Park this time, so it's going to be tough for Brighton. Now I was thinking that this might be a Crystal Palace win because they don't have a good record against Brighton, especially the M23 derby. Like I said, most of the games ends in a draw, and the reason why I feel like this game might be a Crystal Palace win because the Selhurst Park and also Philip Mateta is back after that ear injury. So, and looking at this year, Brighton right now are in eighth, on 47 points. If they beat Crystal Palace, they'll be 2 points behind us. So what I'm hoping for is that for Palace to win, and I feel like they might do because they have to end this this one of games without to win against Brighton, if you know what I mean. So for this game, I'm gonna go for 2-1 Palace win, even though I feel like this might end in a draw. I think for me that Palace, the likes of Eze, the likes of Philip Mateta, all of these players, even Ben Chilwell starting to, looking good for Crystal Palace. This, I think, for me, that Palace will have good enough to beat Brighton, and I hope they do. I really hope they do. So I will be watching that game, and I'm just hoping that Palace can do something for Chelsea. So yeah, I'm gonna back them to win. Palace 2, Brighton 1. Brighton's only goal scorer for me. Mateta. But for Palace, I'm gonna go for young Philip Mateta and Ebenezer Eze to score. So yeah, 2-1 to Crystal Palace. It's gonna be my prediction for that game later today. So yeah, Common Palace, you can do this for me. While the next one is Ipswich Town versus Wolves. Of course, Ipswich Town. Um, what's their last game? I think they've won. Yeah, they went to Fatality Stadium and beat Bournemouth. I mean, I don't know what's happening to Bournemouth, because their home games, they're losing 4 home games in a row in the Premier League, or in five if you want to include the FA Cup against Man City. So I don't know what's going on, but I'll get to Bournemouth in just a minute. But both Ipswich Town and Wolves did win those games. So look at the table, yeah. Um, with 8 games to go, Ipswich Town are 9 points behind Wolves. The only way I see Ipswich Town, getting themselves out of the relegation zone is that if they win 4 games in a row and Wolves lose their 4 games in a row, that's the only way I see it. But for me, Ipswich Town have only got one win at home, or is it two that they've? Let me think. They beat Chelsea. They beat Southampton. No, did they? No, I'm sorry. They beat Chelsea. They beat Tottenham. They beat Bournemouth. Who else did they beat this season? Because I'm seeing they've won 4 games. Let me just have a look. Let me just see. Yeah, they beat Bournemouth. Who else did they beat? Uh, uh, I'm trying to look for one. Yeah, they beat Chelsea. Also, they beat. Oh yeah, they beat Wolves. There we go. So, but at home they've only got one win. 3 of those. Yeah, they've only have one win at home. 3 away games was against Bournemouth, Tottenham, and Wolves. That's the only wins that they've got. Only 3 wins, and all of them were away from home. But our first win. Sorry, guys. My phone is buzzing. I'm not going to answer it. But yeah. Um. So yeah, because it's just so difficult to predict. But I just feel like Wolves might win this game because and Wolves need to make sure that Ipswich Town don't win because if they do, Ipswich Town will be 6 points behind them, 6 points behind Wolves. So, but if Wolves win, and if they keep on winning, then yeah, I don't see the way Ipswich Town are going to get back into it. But it's so difficult, man. It really is. I feel like this game might end in a draw or potentially Ipswich Town win because Liam Delap, 11 league goals, it's not that bad, really isn't that bad. But Wolves will start, I just don't know. In fact, I feel like Ipswich Town might beat Wolves again. I feel like they might do so. No, it's at home though. So yeah, for me, it's difficult, but I might go for Wolves 2-1 win, just about. Because Ipswich Town have only got one win at home this season, and that was against my club. Honestly. But yeah, I'm gonna go for Wolves 2-1 win, just about. But if Ipswich Town do win, then boy, then the battle for survival could be on. It could be on for Ipswich Town, but I just see Wolves just making a 2-1 win. Liam Delap to score for Ipswich Town. For Wolves, I'm gonna go for I don't know who's gonna score, but I just know. But all I know is that they're going to win. So yeah, 2-1 to Wolves is gonna be my prediction for that game today as well. And then we move on into another 3 p.m. kickoff, which is Bournemouth going away to West Ham. Of course, West Ham. What was their last game? Because I know Bournemouth lost 2-1 against against Bournemouth. I mean, Bournemouth lost 2-1 against Ipswich Town, mind you. What was West Ham's last game? Oh yeah, it was against Wolves and they lost 1-0. Um, Now this one is going to be tough to predict because both teams have lost. Um, but I'm still looking at the table, yeah, and and Bournemouth are still have a great chance of finishing Europe because they're in 10th place right now, but they are they are 4 points behind Aston Villa, oh sorry, 3 points behind Brighton because we all know that fifth spot takes you to the Champions League. So there we go. But yeah, so to me, it's so tough. It really is tough to predict on this one because West Ham, um, only 5 points above Wolves. So to me, West Ham need to really pick themselves up. They need to start winning games because they haven't won three Premier League games, on the last three games in the Premier League, they've lost two and they've drawn one. So West Ham have to win this game because they're on the same points as Everton and Tottenham, and they've only 3 points behind Man United. So West Ham have to win this game. But it's so tough because Bournemouth are a really good team. But the fact that they've lost four Premier League home games in a row is just alarming. It really is. Well, listen. I'm glad that Bournemouth are winning games, but at home they're not been that great. And Bournemouth as well. Look at their last five games. Four defeats and one draw in the last five Premier League games. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. So with that form, I feel like West Ham might win this game. I feel like they might win this game. So for this game, I might go for West Ham win. I might go for 2-1 as well because Bournemouth are in 10th place right now. And I would have thought that Bournemouth this season could be finishing in Europe or potentially in Europe. But the last five games shows you that they haven't been that great. And they've even out of the FA Cup. So, I don't think Ariola would get sacked. But the last couple of games, including the FA Cup, five defeats and one draw. No, that is absolutely crazy. So for that, I'm gonna go for West Ham win, and they have to win. Otherwise, they could be finishing in 17th if they don't pick up points. So yeah, I'm gonna go for West Ham 2-1 win, and I hope they do because Bournemouth, like I said, they could be catching up to teams who are fighting for Europe. So yeah, I'm gonna go for 2-1 West Ham win on that one today. And then Saturday night football, of course, is not the Merseyside, the Midlands derby, Villa versus Nottingham Forest. I tell you, Villa right now, boy, they are looking to make it back-to-back Champions Leagues, but let's hope that's not the case. But what I will say is that Marco Asensio has scored more Premier League goals than any other player since he joined on loan, from that team. He's doing a fantastic job. And Marcus Rashford, honestly, he's really, really stepping up, you know. And this is weird, but it looks like Man United players, the former Man United players, whether on loan or something like that, are doing well. Anthony, Will Betis starting to score goals. Marcus Rashford, starting to get goals and assists. Who else has left? Anthony Langer as well, starting to look good for Nottingham Forest. So that's why Man United are in an absolute mess. And as a Chelsea fan, I love it because every time Man United players leave um, every time the players leave Man United, they're going to do well. It's only Jadon Sancho that hasn't been that conversation, but he's fine for the Champions League. So you can include him, but not the same conversation as Rashford, Anthony, and Anthony Lang, if you know what I mean. So there we go. But yeah, man. But yeah, Rashford and Asensio doing really well. For me, yeah, I'm not so for is a great run of form. I think for me, they will finish in the Champions League. They will do. But I'm looking at this year. Chelsea are 5 points behind Nottingham Forest. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but let's say that if Villa beat Nottingham Forest and if Chelsea beat Brentford, we will be 2 points by Nottingham Forest. Only 2 points. I still don't feel we're going to finish above Forest, but let's say that we do. Let's say that Forest drop a few points and then Chelsea win a couple of games. Then boy, that would be amazing. That would be absolutely amazing. So I don't think I don't think either of these teams are going to win. So that's why I'm going to predict at least a draw. So I'm going to go for Desmond 2-2, you know, because both teams are on a really good run of form. They really are. Like Villa, have only lost one game, in the last five. And that's the same thing for Nottingham Forest as well. Both teams won three games, drawn one, and lost one. So both teams on a really good run of form. And like I said, Villa looking to make it back-to-back Champions League. So, but let's hope that's not the case. So, yeah, for this game, I'm gonna go for a 2-2 draw, at least a draw, because it's so difficult to see. I feel like for me, the only team I see just winning this game is Nottingham Forest. But like I said, if Marco Asensio, if like I would have predicted Forest win if Marco Asensio and Rashford didn't sign for Villa, if you know what I mean. But these two on a really good run of form. So for me, yeah, I wouldn't mind Villa win. I wouldn't mind it, but I want it to be a draw because I don't want Villa to be above us again for this season. So yeah, I'm gonna go for 2-2 draw. Villa's goal scorers, Marcus Rashford and Marco Asensio. For Nottingham Forest, I'm gonna go for Anthony Langa and maybe Chris Wood. Actually no, he's not in the squad, isn't he? No. No, Callum Hudson-Odoi is 2-2 draw. I'm definitely going to be watching that game as well. Just like I'm going to be watching the Palace Brighton game. So yeah, 2-2 draw between Aston Villa and Nottingham Forest. So there we go. That's going to be my prediction for that game. So yeah, those are Saturday's games, which is today. Now let me quickly move on into Super Sunday. Now, I'm not going to talk about this too much because I'm going to save that for video number 2. So make sure you guys check that out. But I'm just really hoping that our form continues because it's a good win against Tottenham. But to me, the only thing I was disappointed is our attack. Defensively, in the Spurs game, it's not been that bad. Robert Sanchez as well. Like I said, very lucky that the Stars goal got disallowed. But other than that, I don't think I can get angry at him too much. Obviously, I want Philip Jorgensen to start, but I just know that Robert Sanchez is going to be starting the Brentford game, so it is what it is. But defensively, it's not that bad. I'm just hoping that these four players put on the same performance against Brentford because going to the G2 Community Stadium ain't that easy. What I will say is that I am a bit confident because Brentford's home game hasn't been that great. But also, Chelsea have a good record at G2 Community Stadium. We are yet to lose because ever since Brentford, came to the Premier League 3 years ago, when we first faced them, it was a 1-0 win. The next one was, and then we faced them in the Cowboy Cup, at the G2 Community Stadium, and we beat them 1-0. And then, oh, wait, am I right? Yeah, we did. Yeah, and then in the Premier League, we drew to them 0-0, and then last season we drew 2-2. So we have a really good record. So 2 wins and 2 draws. You know, we really don't. I don't think we really batter Brentford that much the way the other teams do. But we have a good record at G2 Community Stadium in all competitions. 2 wins and 2 draws. So that's why I'm a bit confident. Not so much because we know that Brentford play a low block and we're going to find it difficult. But I'm just hoping that Enzo Maresca can just find like what we did against Brentford at Stamford Bridge. I hope he can have that same tactics of how to break down a low block. So I'm just hoping that our defense do their job, the midfield. That's the only thing. That's the only thing I'm pretty much confident about. But it's our attack I'm worried about because Palmer, like I said in the preview, had a okay. He wasn't that great, but it was okay. Jadon Sancho, I think for me, the Brentford game, he has to be on the bench. He really has to. But let me not talk about that too much. Let me say that for the preview. But yeah, for this game tomorrow, even though I feel like this might end in a draw, I'm just gonna back my team 2-1 Chelsea. I'm just hoping that it comes true, but I just got this sick feeling that this game might end in a draw for me. But I'm just gonna back my team. I'm just hoping that we continue this winning form and we're still yet to do the double for Brentford, which we haven't done so since they come up. So let's hope tomorrow's the case. So there we go. Right. So yeah, 2-1 to Chelsea. There. Now the next one is Fulham versus Liverpool. Now Liverpool are 4 wins away from winning the title. So they are so against Fulham, they need to do their job. Now, funnily enough, yeah. I feel like the last time these two teams met, it was a 2-2 draw. And I remember it was Robertson, that got himself sent off for the challenge on for the Niners going score an opportunity. So there you go. But so let's hope that Robertson doesn't do the same thing mistake. Now, now, to me, Fulham over the last few games haven't been that really great. They've lost 3-0 against Crystal Palace in the FA Cup. They lost 2-1 away, at the Emirates Stadium. So their form hasn't been that great. But yeah, like I said, Liverpool this season have only lost one game, and that was against Nottingham Forest. So they're 4 wins away. And so yeah, I want Liverpool to win those games because I don't want Arsenal to be catching up to Liverpool at all. And I don't mind Liverpool winning the league, like I told you before. So yeah, for this game, I'm gonna go for a close. It's gonna be close. It really is because I feel like Fulham um will try and find a way to frustrate Liverpool, but Mo Salah, has to be picking himself up because in the last 6 games, I saw a stat. The only goal that he scored was against Southampton, which are bottom of the league. In the last 6 games in all competitions, it's not that great. So I need to pick himself up. You know, but yeah, I feel like it's gonna be close. But I just feel like Liverpool just have enough to beat Fulham. So yeah, I'm gonna go for 2-1. Fulham's only goal scorer probably Alex Iwobi. For Liverpool, I'm gonna go for possibly Mo Salah to get a goal and assist, and probably McAllister's. Yeah, 2-1 to Liverpool is going to be my prediction for that game tomorrow. Right, the next game. Oh, I still got time. Um, okay, the next game, Tottenham versus Southampton. Now, yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you this. For me, I feel like Tottenham are going to win because Southampton is bad. They're just rubbish. Of course, they did due to Palace, but they're still bad. What I will say though is that I would not be surprised if Southampton beat Tottenham Hotspur, especially at White Hart Lane. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because the three teams who are down at the bottom, Ipswich Town, Leicester, and Southampton, two of them won at White Hart Lane. Ipswich Town and Leicester. And those games ended in a 2-1 win. So I would not be surprised, yeah, if Tottenham Hotspur gave Southampton their first league win since I believe the Ipswich Town game, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so Southampton we had 2 wins. 2 wins. It was against Everton and Ipswich Town. When was when fan? Let me see. So yeah, the last time, yeah, that's when. Let me look at the Ipswich Town game. So yeah, Southampton have only 2 league wins. Their last league win was against Ipswich Town, which was 2 months ago. But they've only had 2 wins. Yeah. So if Tottenham gives Southampton the first, if Tottenham lets Southampton win, not only does that mean that Tottenham have lost 17 Premier League games, but that means that the 3 relegated teams have gone to White Hart Lane and won. But not only that, they would make Southampton not break the worst ever Premier League record, which is in terms of lowest points. Because Southampton right now, because Derby County have only got 11 points, which is the lowest in Premier League history. Southampton are 1 point, only 1 point, yeah, from for not breaking that record. So Tottenham should not do this. They should not let Southampton get a win. But like I said, I would not be surprised if that happens. So Tottenham, for me, are going to win because Southampton is dead. They're rubbish. But if Southampton win, I will not be surprised. I would definitely not be surprised. But yeah, in terms of this game, Tottenham are going to win for me. They're going to win. So for this game, I'm going to go for a Tottenham win of, yeah, the last time yeah, I think, yeah, so Tottenham beat them 5-0 last time. Yeah, um, for this one, I'm going to go for, maybe do I see Southampton scoring? Maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna go. You know what? Yeah, I see Southampton scoring because Tottenham cannot keep a clean sheet. They just can't. See, I'm gonna go for 3-1 Tottenham win. They simply have to win. But like I said, I will not be surprised if Southampton go there and won. Because like I said, Leicester went there with one, Ipswich Town went there with one. Two out of the three relegated teams went there with one. So yeah, 3-1 to Tottenham. Goal scorers, I'm gonna go for Son, Dominic Solanke, and um probably could have. I mean, no, James Anderson to score for Southampton. Maybe. Uh, I don't know. I really don't know who's going to be scoring for Southampton. But yeah, 3-1 to Tottenham is going to be my prediction for that game tomorrow. Then we move on into the game of the weekend, the big one, the Manchester Derby, United versus Man City. Of course, United went to the Etihad and won 2-1 the last time these teams met. But to me, um, before I get into prediction, I would just like to say, yesterday, while I finished work, I looked in my phone, I went on Instagram, and I saw the news of Kevin De Bruyne. I was like, let me see what's happening. Then Kevin De Bruyne wrote on his post that the at the end of this season he will be leaving Manchester City, and I'm like, wow, Kevin De Bruyne is leaving Manchester City. But I do get that because he was a Man City play because Man City signed him from Chelsea 2015. So it's getting close to 10 years now. So I do understand that, but I would have thought that he stayed, but he's actually leaving. So, Man City fans, if you're watching this right now, in fact, I also speak to Daps here when he's doing a calling shot. I'm gonna ask him how does he feel because deep down, I know he's gonna be so sad. Even who else? Hamza, Patrick, bless him. He's gonna be so sad. So, leaving Man City next season, boy. So the question is, who can replace Kevin De Bruyne? Who? That's going to be the big question. So, boy, so yeah, I absolutely regret the fact that we sold this guy to Man City. I absolutely regret it. As a Chelsea fan, that's, him, Mo Salah as well. Or I just regret that we sold these lot to Man City and to Liverpool. I regret thoroughly. Like, boy, it is what it is, but we just moved. But yeah, so to me, I'm not sure if Kevin De Bruyne leaving is going to affect the Man City players. So obviously, even though I would love to banter United, I would just love it if they could beat City for me um, because right now, look at the table here. Man City are in fifth place. They are 1 point behind us. 1 point. So all I'm hoping for is that for Man United to win, because funnily enough, yeah, like I keep saying, Man United are just up and down, up and down. They simply cannot get 2 wins in a row. They simply cannot. If you look at the last 5 games, draw, win, lost. So the pattern will be the same. Every time Man United draw, they win the next game. Every time Man United lose, they win the next game. So by that pattern, yeah, I just feel like I don't think it's not going to affect the players, but we all saw that Jurgen Klopp last season announced that he's leaving, and the only trophy, yeah, that Jurgen Klopp won was the Carabao Cup. In the Premier League, in the FA Cup, they got knocked out by Man United. And the Europa League, they lost 3-0, yeah, against Atalanta. I mean, no, they got knocked out by Atalanta. So now, since we all know that Jurgen Klopp said this announcement and respect Liverpool, the question is, would it affect Kevin De Bruyne and the players that will be playing tomorrow against Man City, against Man United? Let's hope it's not the case, but it could be a possibility. It really could. So, yeah, for this game, um, I'm gonna go for Man United win potentially because it's at Old Trafford, so Man United need to step up. You know, you know. and they're looking to do the double for Man City. I can't remember the last time that this happened. In fact, let me just have a check. When was the last time that Man United ever done the double for Man City? Let me just have a look. Um, let me just see. The last, okay, since 2020. So 5 years ago, since the last time Man United won done the double for Man City, that is crazy. But I feel like they might do it. I think they might do it. So of course, Manchester United are worse than Man City, but for me, they really got to step up. So it's not really a shock, but I would love Man United to win. So I'm going to back them to win at least 2-1. If Man City win, then boy, then that would be back to back defeats for Manchester United since God knows when. But like I said, my United's practice is that draw, win, lose, win. They just simply if they get back to back defeats, then that tells you they cannot do back to back wins in the Premier League. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go for Man United 2 or win because I don't want City to be above us if we do lose to Brentford. So yeah, 2-1 to Man United. The goal scorers for me, I'm gonna go for Bruno Fernandes, and I'm gonna go for Joshua Zirkzee for Man City. Maybe Mamouche to score. So yeah, 2-1 to Manchester United is going to be my prediction for that game on a Sunday, which is of course tomorrow. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that game. Going to be watching that after the Chelsea game. And then the last and not least, boy, Wendy B, if you're watching this, I'm sorry to say this, but you're not gonna like my prediction. Newcastle, you got Newcastle, and like I said, you've been breaking records after records after records, which is terrible. You simply cannot win and cannot score. And I think Newcastle are going to do the exact same thing. So for this game, on Monday night, I'm for me, it's going to be a Newcastle win. It's going to be a Newcastle win. So for this game, I'm going to go for 3-0. I don't see you guys scoring again, and I don't see you guys winning again. So yeah, man. I really thought that Wood Van Nistelrooy would be doing a really good job for Leicester, but I thought wrong. I really thought wrong. So yeah, 3-0 to Newcastle. I just don't see a way you're gonna score past them, especially when you have the likes of Dan Burn at the back or something like that. Lewis Hall, Livermore. So yeah, 3-0 to Newcastle, man. They're just gonna po- cause more misery on Ruth Van Nistelrooy and Leicester City. So yeah, 3-0. Goal scorers. For me, I'm gonna go for Alexander Isak to score a brace and probably Jacob Murphy to score. So yeah, 3-0 to Newcastle going to be my prediction. It's going to be another game with no wins, no cannot score. Yeah, for Leicester City. So yeah, 3-0 to Newcastle is going to be my prediction on that game on Monday night. So there we go. But yeah, that is it for the predictions. Let me go for the one more time. So today's games, I've gone for a 2-1 also win on the earlier kickoff against Everton. Then 3 p.m. kickoff games, I've gone for a 2-1 Palace win against Brighton. Fingers crossed. I've gone for Wolves 2-1 win against Ipswich Town. Then I've gone for West Ham 2-1 win against Bournemouth. And then I've gone for 2 to join the Midlands derby between Villa and Nottingham Forest. Then Super Sundays, which is tomorrow, I went for my team to hopefully beat Brentford by 2 goals to 1. Then I've gone for Liverpool 2-1 win against Fulham. Then I've gone for Tottenham 3-1 against Southampton. Then the big game, the Manchester Derby, I've gone for United 2-1 win against Manchester City. And then on Monday Night Football, I've gone for a Newcastle 3-0 win against Leicester City. So that is all my Premier predictions for game week number 30. So do let me know in the comments down below which you agree or disagree with any of my predictions. And if you got your predictions, do let me know. And if there's any more information about the players getting injured or something like that, do let me know and I will be able to understand. So yeah, like I said, it's just a quick one because the game is about to kick off. And yesterday I was so busy, so that's why I'm recording this video today. So yeah, this don't forget this is video 1 of 2. The next video, of course, will be the Brentford Chelsea preview. So that will be uploaded after the Villa versus Crystal Palace game. So I will record that one and I'm gonna upload it straight away. So make sure you guys tune into that one. So yeah, let's hope that Palace, the Villa Forest game ends in a draw, and the West Ham hopefully beat Bournemouth. Let's hope that teams can do us that the teams can do us that. Sorry, let me say it in a better way, that the results will favor Chelsea, if you know what I mean. So fingers crossed that happens. So hopefully at the end, hopefully when I do the preview, it will be a happy one instead of a frustrated one, if you know what I mean. So there we go. But yeah, man, that's it for this video. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit the share button as well, and don't forget to hit the bell notification so they never miss part video number 2 that will be uploaded today. So yeah, man. So good luck to all the teams, and yeah, and I'll see you guys later on for the Brentford Chelsea preview. As always, take care, goodbye, God bless, and as always, up the Chelsea.